Hello there, my name is Alistair Mulhearn and my hobby is photography. It used to be my job, but it's my hobby now. And I love photographing bands, live gigs.
Thanks for coming along and doing this interview with me, Music Behind the Lens. Tell me a little bit more about yourself, how you get started in photography.
I bought my first camera way back in 1972 to photograph my son growing up. Kind of flourished. Then I bought a better camera and a better camera and a better camera, and I started going to gigs down at their pavilion. And there was a good pal at Tom Jones. Jonesy let me in to take photographs of all the bands that was playing, and that's how I started my passion for gigs and photographing. And those were the greatest. In fact, the Piv to me was the best venue in Britain. I loved it. It was just there, half an hour from my house, and it was just absolutely magnificent. The music was superb. One or two bands were an absolute lot of tosh, but 99% of them I thoroughly enjoyed.
I think for what I remember in the 70s, when I was quite a young kid as well, your big bands who now kind of play in like the Hydro in Glasgow would come down to here in the pavilion. And I think the big well names, you'll probably know the names better than me, but...
No, so I had Maiden there twice.
Right.
And SAXON twice. And to me, they were the best bands of that era. I mean, Iron Maiden, to me, are still the best band of that genre of music. It was just an amazing band. It's a pity they never got AC/DC, mind you, that would have been a good night.
Yeah, I mean, in the pavilion, I remember it as a nightclub as well, and going in and they call it Grab a Granny. But for you, in those days, it would be a film camera that you would have had.
Yes.
And the lighting, as we all know, it needs to be pretty good.
It wasn't very good.
Because we can use flash all the time. How hard did you find that?
I found it very difficult because I had to uprate my HP 5 to as high as I can get it. Sometimes 3,200 and developing microphone for half an hour or whatever it is, I can't remember now. See, and it was all grainy. But grain in a gig looked quite nice.
Yeah, I agree.
But sometimes you had to use your flash gun, and I didn't particularly like using my flash gun because it brought a bit of attention to me.
I mean, they talk about the three songs and no flash. Do you know how that came about? Do you know any history about that and how that came about? I think from what I was led to believe, it was a gig at I think it was Bruce Springsteen many years ago, and I think at that time there was loads of photographers in the pit, and there was a lot of flash, but I don't know the full story behind all that. That's possibly what happened, but being in a dark nightclub, and obviously they've got the lights on stage, and there's a lot of lights going all over the place, and difference from a film camera to a digital camera, can you see a difference in that nowadays? Or?
Oh, you can. I mean, well, the one I've got now, the Canon 1DX, ISO goes up to 51,000. I mean, way back in film days, a black and white film only went to 400 ISO. You had to upgrade it and develop it for longer. But then you had a colour film went to 1600. Then you could upgrade that to 3200 as well. So it's a lot better for taking photographs digital. I think so, anyway. Yeah.
So we're talking on your gear, and obviously you talked about when you first started, you had the film cameras. Can you remember any makes there? Or was it always Canon, or was it another brand that you used?
When I first started doing it for a lot more of a hobby, I bought a Shannon out of Dixon's, and I had about 5 of them.
Right.
I thought they were a great wee camera with a power winder, and they were great cameras. Then I bought a Canon T90s and had 5 of them over the years. Then I went into the Canon EOS 1Ns.
Right.
That was the autofocus, more or less the same style as the digital ones now. But and I thought that was the greatest camera ever made, was with the autofocus. It was absolutely superb. But then you get into a dark place and it doesn't focus because you need light to focus, to give contrast. Then digital come onto the scene, and I bought a 1DS, a 1D digital. It cost me £4,500. That was a lot of money.
Yeah, I remember when I first met you, it was at Jam at the Dam in 2013, and I noticed that you had the big cameras and the big lenses, and I thought I need to get that, because I remember I had an Nikon D300S, and it was just I had an 85mm lens. But I made a capture on you and Jackson Freighter, and just being in awe and thinking I want to do what they do, and I'm thinking that's when I kind of thought I want to do gig photography. And I didn't really know much about you then at the time, but I knew of you as well, and I knew that you were working with the newspapers and a lot of sport photography as well you were doing as well, just press, News of the World.
For the football.
Yeah. So from what you were doing at the pavilion and the music based in the photography, was that a full-time job, or was it just
my hobby?
Your hobby?
Because I worked at Scottish Stamping in there.
Right, okay.
Electrician. That was then, because Tom Jones, he worked in the stamp work as well.
Yeah, he's no longer with us now as well, Tom, wasn't he? Yeah.
Sad to say.
Yeah.
Well, a lovely man was Tom. First met Tom in 1967. He was the manager of a band called Pure Greed. And they were an outstanding band. They were one of my favourites of that era.
Yeah. I mean, we'll go over. I'll put up on the screen a lot of images from the beginnings of your photography that you can share, and I'll put them up as well. And then obviously I've asked you to select some like 5 images. We'll talk about that in a bit. Has it always really been the Ayrshire scene, or have you went a further afield rather than just?
I've been up to Glasgow to take photographs. I've been to Edinburgh. Been down to London. There's my nephew's band. They won the Scottish Battle of the Band competition. They played in the London Astoria. So we were down there one night, and what a night that was. That was magnificent.
Yeah.
That was, the bands were just out of this world. I mean, Physiologic was the name of the band. And they were not the worst. They were not anywhere near the best. I mean, the best band, I thought they were the band from London. They were just amazing. But they didn't win.
Right. Yeah.
There was a band from Iceland, I think, it won it. And not my thing. I didn't like them at all. But all the kids, they were the ones that was meant to win.
So
I don't know why.
We're talking about different bands and different genres of music. What kind of music do you like to photograph, or have you not really got a type where you photograph anything really?
As long as it's live music, I can photograph it. But I prefer live music that's good. I don't like pop music. I mean, no disrespect to my good friends at South Beach Sessions, but they had a tribute, but the tribute bands playing there, and I don't like tribute bands. I mean, I don't agree with folk making money off of somebody else's work. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, covers bands do it every day of the week.
Yeah.
But to go out now and become a covers band of Springsteen or something like that, and they don't even sound like them. They just use the songs.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one, they call him David Bowie, Spiders from Mars or something like that they were called. They were superb.
Yeah.
They were really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, they're talented musicians, but I can understand where you're coming from. I like them as musicians, and I think they should really be out there as their own. There's nothing wrong with them singing their idols as we do. Photography's, we're all similar in different things, and we idolise and we look up to other photographers. But I don't want to copy that photographer.
No.
I want to be unique, and I want to have my own style. And I think I totally agree with you on that one. But I mean, some of them are good to photograph. I think the tribute bands are out there for those that can't really afford or might not get to see their idols, and that's fine. But and like you say, I can totally agree. It's a bit like me making money on somebody else's work. And as photographers, we do get a lot of that. People nick our images and say it's theirs, and that could be quite similar in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there any specific bands that really stick out for you though?
There's lots of bands that really stick out. As I mentioned earlier on, I had Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they're a magnificent band. And way back in the last tour of in Scott, I saw AC/DC at the Apollo. Didn't take my camera in those days because you're not allowed. But I would have loved to have photographed that. That would have been something for the memory banks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, did you ever go to any gigs without your? Oh, you said that we went your camera, but did you ever sneak your camera in? And
I did once to see Supertramp.
Right.
And I can't remember the year, but it was the following year they made Paris, the CD,
Right.
and the DVD,
Mm-hmm.
which I've got in the house.
Yeah.
And I love Supertramp. I thought they were a magnificent band.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah, I listen to like the Bay City Rollers and stuff like that. I don't think you'll ever.
Everybody's got their faults.
I know, but Supertramp and Dr. Feelgood and these kind of people, and I kind of grew up with the 80s and as well, and electronic music, because I'm kind of well known for 80s at the moment, because when I was talking to KERRIN, that's where we kind of picked up, and I'm probably known as photographer that photographs the 80s bands.
So you lay hips with.
Well, that's it, yeah. So what we talked about the Air Pavilion, and one of the bands you mentioned was Wishbone Ash, and this is just an image that you've got up that we went through. We've just picked that one for random, really, haven't we?
That's the guy at the far left, Laurie Wisefield. He played in Troon way back in November, I think it was, and Snake Charmer.
Right.
And that was a superb gig. It's good to see the South Beach sessions yet again.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that wants to go and see some really good music, check out the South Beach sessions, because they are magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
Top bands play. I mean, we're having one in February, the Climax Blues Band, which is Laurie Wisefield, I think, used to be in that way back years ago.
I mean, that's the thing, very open to all styles of music, really.
Well, Snake Charmer, the bass player in Snake Charmer is Neil Murray, I think.
Right.
He used to play in Whitesnake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and on drums that night it was a stand-in drummer, but the drummer for Snake Charmer, he plays in Thunder,
Mm-hmm.
Harry James. But he'd never made it that night, he was away doing something else.
Right.
And Rick Wakeman's son was meant to be playing keyboards, but he was away doing something else again.
Right.
So they've got a great selection of musicians to call for all these top bands.
Mm.
That's what the musicianship's amazing.
Yeah.
But Snake Charmer were a fantastic band. And the last band to play last year was the Rhino's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bass player at Status Quo.
Right.
And they were amazing, really, really superb.
We talked about certain bands that you photographed on the Air Pavilion and different things like that, and one of the questions that I'd asked, and there's a number of 21 questions, but we'll not go through them all, I'll select some of them that you can remember. Characters on stage is one of the things that it makes the pictures for me sometimes, and they're active and jumping around, because we can photograph static people just standing there with a bass or a guitar, or a drummer's always active. What kind of musician or persons do you like to photograph on stage? Is there a certain one, a certain style you like?
I like photographing the guitarist because they always make funny faces when they're playing solos.
Mm.
I mean, it's amazing. My good friend Gav McCulkin, I don't know if you ever met Big Gav.
Yeah, Gav's from my neck of the woods.
Oh, it's really right,
From Maiden.
Big Gav to me is amazing. Great guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best.
He's bald as well.
And he's got a bushy beard.
Aye, that's it, yeah.
And he makes some lovely guitar faces. Then you've got wee Sean McPhail.
Yeah, I
His
know
band-
Sean as well.
His band Zang. Sean makes great faces as well. So you must be a great guitar player to make great faces.
Yeah.
So that's two great guitar players that make great faces.
Yeah, they're good Ayrshire lads as well.
They certainly are.
Yeah. So, is there we'll go back to a little bit about camera equipment again, and for that as well. Is there any specific lens that you like to use specifically?
My favourite lens for a gig is a 70 to 200 f2.8 Canon lens. Because then sometimes you put the 1.4 converter onto it and it gives you a wee bit more depth into the stage,
Right.
which is quite good.
Yeah, yeah. And what's we talked about with the digital age and from you started in the film era, and obviously every phone nowadays has got camera facilities on it. Would you ever think of using a mobile phone for professional photography?
No.
Or what about just to capture something just for a research purposes, so that you?
Well, I've photographed things and I've got them up on my Facebook page.
Yeah, but
the thing is, I mean, any photographer, they've got a camera on their neck costing thousands of pounds or hundreds of pounds, and you get people coming up to you with a phone. You take my picture.
Yeah.
And you look at it and you say, what button do I press? Because you haven't got a clue. At least I haven't anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree. And with that, the next question that you probably looked at the list and you've probably had your answers and all that. People using mobile phones and smaller cameras and going to gigs and stuff like that. And we touched about sending off images to fanzines and stuff like that. What's your feelings on that, and people that work for free or do anything for free?
If you do anything for free, you must not need the money. Or do you really enjoy doing what you do? But, I mean, it's very seldom I make money now from my photography. Because I don't go out my way to try and to sell it to magazines or whatever. But when you go to a gig, you're not allowed to take cameras in to certain gigs unless you've got the permission from the promoter or the manager of the band. And you go there and you stand at the back and you look down and there's a forest of lights, wee iPhones and iPads. It really is annoying.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that on that. So, do you have any kind of plan when you go to your gigs, or strategy, or like we all know the kind of settings we would get, but we have to adjust those settings in the camera when it's a certain dark area or a bright area. But have you got a kind of a plan when you go in? Like, is there a certain part in the pit that you like to stand? Or?
No, I go in and I try varying my pictures, because there's nothing worse than photographing. Maybe you're doing a gig with 3 bands and you get 3 pictures of the exact same area, the exact same lighting. I like to try and vary my pictures through my set.
Yeah, I mean, I'd ask you to select 5 images, and we're just going to go and touch on that just shortly. Before I do, obviously we'll see if we can get them up on the screen for you. But you've got a number of images from the beginnings of the 70s right through to now. And I will put them up on screen as well. We'll put a scroll through. I think we touched on it, the first ever concert that you attended, and you talked about the PIV being that, but is there anyone that really sticks out for you that it was the very first, like the professional one that you ever did?
Well, it must have been Tea in the Park.
Right.
I was the second Tea in the Park.
Right.
I never went to the first one because I was working with their supposed at the time, freelancing for them, and I got one of the sub-editors to organise my press pass for Tea in the Park, and he did. It was brilliant. He went up at Hamilton.
Right, yeah.
And it was absolutely, the weather was absolutely roasting. It was brilliant. The bands were totally superb.
Can you remember any of the bands that played that?
Oh, aye. I mean, Skunk and Nancy. I thought she was just absolutely awesome. What a voice she's got.
I think she's really good to photograph as well. She's very active on stage as well.
She's quite a presence.
Yeah.
And the Charlatans, I thought they were marvellous.
I photographed them at Electric Fields. But
Charlottes?
again, the Charlatans, yeah.
I like the Charlatans.
Yeah, I think at the time it was, I don't know whether they'd reformed or they'd split up or anything, but it was the main character with the guy with the blonde hair.
Oh, I can't remember.
I can't remember his name either, 'cause it's terrible. We should redo our research, shouldn't we?
I mean, I think Tea in the Park, it was the keyboard player who died, I think.
Yeah,
And they get James Taylor
right.
to play keyboards at the gig,
Uh-huh.
if I can remember rightly. Or maybe that was another Tea in the Park.
So I think what we'll do is we'll start talking about your images. Okay, so we've obviously going to talk about your 5 images. Obviously we've got Mr. Lydon there in the background, the Sex Pistols that you photographed.
It was in the last Loch Lomond festival.
Right.
It was absolutely team in the rain, not a nice weekend at all. One of the reasons for not going to festivals, especially in Scotland anyway.
I know, we had good weather last year. Hopefully this year it might be a bit better.
Mud everywhere.
Right, so your 5 images, I haven't asked you to put them in any particular order, but if you want to do that you can. Tell me about your first image that you selected.
Well, I want to put my picture up of my son's band way back 1993. The band called Oswald's Picnic. A lot of people remember that. They were a prog rock band of sorts. I love them to bits, they were just amazing. They used to be the roadie, humping all the gear and loading up the van, and brilliant. Happy times.
And is that band still going? Or they?
No.
No.
My son, he plays the keyboards now in the Trash Can Sonatas.
Right, okay.
Whenever they're playing over here, he goes, does a couple of gigs.
So tell me about the image that you've selected then.
It was taken for a shot for the local paper actually. It was up Old Hawkins outside Dundonald.
Right.
In the long grass. They were just standing there in a line, and to me it looked magnificent. I loved it. I thought it was a great photograph.
Yeah.
Not just because my son's in it, but it's a nice picture. I like the picture itself.
And it's always it's as we say with photography, it's creating a memory and it's creating something.
Oh, it's a great memory for me. I mean, but photographing in the old ruin as well. You know. But nice.
So the next picture, and obviously, is there any? What was the next one that you've selected?
There's one of my picture there's a picture of Rory Gallagher taken at Ayr Pavilion, and I think it was the second time Rory played at Ayr Pavilion. To me, Rory was the greatest guitar player ever. I remember in an interview, some journalist chap was asking Hendrix, what's it like to be the world's greatest guitar player? And Jimmy says, you better ask Rory. So if it's good enough for Hendrix, it's good enough for me.
That's brilliant. I like that story. So is there anything else you want to tell me about that picture that you've selected, about Rory?
It was just one of these things that was uprated, but from 800, maybe 1600 ASA or up 3200 or something like that. It was a lot of upgrading, uploading the film. But it's just black and white.
Yeah, I like black and
with
white.
A spotlight on Rory. It was just blackness all round, bar the light hitting Rory, playing his old Fender.
Right, alright, yeah.
I had to get a picture of Rory with the old Fender. I mean, that was it. I don't know where that guitar is. If it's still out there and somebody's got it, it must be worth a fortune.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Fenders are quite expensive, and I had a Gibson, getting a brand of Gibson, I don't know if Gibson were having a bit of trouble, were they not? Plus we went out of business, which was a shame. But I think they're still going, I think they're still hanging in there. Is there what's the next image that you've selected, Alistair? Can you tell me about that one?
It's a picture of Iron Maiden, with Bruce Dickinson up in front, standing at the stage, with Adrian Murray at the back of him. And it's just a magnificent memory of Iron Maiden playing the second time at the Ayr Pavilion. That was in 1992, I think it was.
Wow.
Brilliant. Absolutely marvellous.
I mean, it's really great to think that Ayrshire area were having big bands come there, and it would be good to have them coming back again.
Oh aye, well they do.
Venue.
The South Beach Sessions. they're having starts. The first one's February this year. There's been 2 in February, and there's, I think Ian has maybe 2 a month. It's,
do you think you would get like Iron Maiden though?
that's what I told Ian. If I win the lottery, Iron Maiden will be there. And I must admit, because that's what South Beach Sessions is about, and the Twin Winter Storm.
Yeah, yeah, that's certainly coming.
Absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one yet. I mean, I've sent KERRIN's went in my behalf for Patchcord News, and I keep meaning if I can get time off work, I'll probably try and go.
South Beach Sessions is superb, but the Winter Storm, to me, the first year it was on was a band called Last in Line, and that was Ronnie James Dio's band, and I had to get a photograph of me and Vinnie Appice.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, one of the greatest drummers ever. And to be standing next to these guys that stood playing with Ronnie James Dio, I was in awe.
Yeah, I get that as well when I'm photographing, and I start photographing people that I followed as a kid, or music that I really like, and then actually meet these people in person. Sometimes I find it difficult to even ask for that selfie, or they call it, or get that picture with them. But I do want them. But I take your hat off that you managed to get that.
Oh, it was Andy, a good friend of mine, Andy West from Llanlithgow, he took it for me. Oh, it's,
and is that on your page?
Oh, that'll be.
Yeah, on your Facebook
page. On my Facebook page.
Yeah, I'll look that one up, put that one up for everybody to see.
The first time ever I gave my camera to somebody to take a photograph of me, and the person, it was Ian Jury. When Ian Jury was on McCoy and Macaulay television programme a good number of years back. I was working with the Usher Leader at the time.
Because that's an old magazine, I remember, the old free magazine, Usher Leader, I remember them.
It was good.
Yeah, so that Ian Jury of the Blockheads.
The Blockheads.
Just for other folk that might not know who Ian Jury is.
He was a lovely man to talk to.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, I mean, I've read his book, and I've seen the documentary with Andy Serkis playing the part. And he wasn't a really nice man, but that night I was speaking to him, I thought I was in awe, you know, when you meet somebody, one of your heroes kind of style.
Yeah.
He was brilliant.
Definitely. So we've got the Iron Maiden one for your third picture. What would be the next one you would select?
Well, the Rhythm Kings. I've photographed the Rhythm Kings twice here, Gaiety. And I'm a good pal of Martin Taylor's, and when I do a photograph of a band, if I can, I get it printed up and I get them, if the band's playing again, I get them to sign it. So I've got pictures of the Rhythm Kings with Martin Taylor's name on it, Bill Wyman's, Albert Lee, Gary Booker, Georgie Fame, all in my photographs.
That's absolutely a good idea, that. I like that idea.
And when I went, one gig, Martin's partly with Steve Howe, because Steve Howe produced one of Martin's albums. I can't remember which one, but Steve Howe, I phoned up Martin. I said, your big buddy's playing at the Armadillo. He says, you get the tickets, I'll do the driving. So Martin phoned up Steve Howe, and Martin and his son James went. The four of us went up to see Yes at the Armadillo, and backstage and all the bits and pieces. And I had two of my cameras. I just got my 1D80, my negative cameras, autofocus Canons, and the guy says, you can't take them in. Martin says, he's alright, we're meeting such and such. He says, oh, it's okay. So first 3 songs, take photographs at the front stage, Armadillo, Yes. So I get some nice pictures of Steve Howe. And when Steve Howe played at the Michael Guitar Festival, I taken him in and he signed them for me as well. So I've a picture of Steve Howe, because I must admit, he is some guitar player. Yeah. Absolutely super. Yeah. And he was a lovely guy.
Yeah. What would be your next image that you think about? I mean, that's your fourth, but that kind of stuck out more personally.
Well, the one that I like of my son.
Yeah.
We was playing the house band at the Barrowlands for Jim Diamond. It was Cash for Kids. Right. It was a gig organised by Tom Hunter. And the house band. Jim Diamond was one of the singers, and Marty Pello was a singer, and Galahad Lyle was a singer, and it was just a magnificent night of music.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got nice pictures of Stephen and giving a high five to Jim Diamond.
Yeah. He's sadly no longer with us.
He was a lovely man.
Yeah.
Because Stephen introduced me, and Jim Diamond, he couldn't say anything but nicest about my son, because the way he played the music, because my son played the Hammond organ in the CD, and it's just, Jim Diamond was amazing.
Yeah.
I liked him.
We're talking about your images, and obviously it's I'm kind of putting you in the spotlight. How critical would you say you are of your work, though, that you photograph, or do you not think you're critical?
Yes, I am a bit critical about my pictures. Sometimes I get annoyed at my pictures because they're not as, don't come out the way I would like to see them.
Yeah.
But it's no my really fault for doing that. It's the lack of lights.
Yeah.
And microphone stand.
I think for me you were at the Caesar one up in Oranmore, and I think you'd mentioned to me that you were.
The lighting was
not that great. Yeah. It was a difficult, it's a challenge as well.
Oranmore, I've been up there quite a few times photographing gigs, and the lighting's not the best.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, if there's a lot of backlighting, you're just going to have shadows and silhouettes most of the time. And if you're not allowed to use flash in some way, because I have seen you use flash work, which is your flash work, and some of the gigs were phenomenal. Because I think when I first met you, and me and Jackson were having this discussion, believe it or not, you'll not know about this, and we're being cheeky, and we're saying, how does he get that so bright? And I remember being at a gig in Irvine, I can't remember who was all playing, but I think John Duffy and the rest, Anna Sweeney was playing, I'm not sure, but we're at a place in Irvine, and I seen you walking in with your flash, and you're standing, and you put it up to the side, and I thought, I know how he does it now. So it's bouncing light, but although the flash went directly at there, but you're using the trigger, and I thought that was a great idea, because at the end of the day on the stage they've got lights, haven't they? And there's flashing everywhere. So
well, on local gigs, for years that's what I used to do, because my camera wasn't up to the ISO to cope with the lighting that's on stage.
Yeah.
So you just use on a stand with a wee trigger on my camera, and it was
just what's a treat, really, just to get that little hint of light.
I done it well.
Yeah, you did. I mean, there's a lot of the images just nice and clear, crisp.
Aye.
And it was I liked it. I said this to Jackson actually. There was a lot of you could tell them you were Alistair Mulhearn's pictures, and that for me was a big thing, because I think that's with a brand or anything. I know for me, I can pick out my images quite quickly. I can see if it's my image or if it's yours, or if it's my good friend Jackson Freighters. Because for a long time it was Jackson and yourself that when I started, and I looked up to you because you were my idols, believe it or not, as well. And I just liked your work, because there was a creaminess, there was just a clarity to your images, and I liked them.
I know when I first started taking photographs of bands, I was the only one that done it in this area. Yeah. And I still do. I mean, last night I was at Harley's seeing an excellent band, Redwood Ridge. If you ever want to go see a good band, go and watch them. They are
they're good. I can vouch for that. I seen Redwood at Ian Donaldson's album launch, and it was last February actually, this time last year. Ian was launching his new album that I did the front cover for, from Stars We Came, and they were a support band, and I'd never seen them before, but I was blown away by them.
Oh, that's superb.
Really, really good.
I'm looking for a new guitar player, new rhythm guitar player.
I think from what you're saying there is about the Ayrshire scene as well, and not so much the Scottish scene, but the Ayrshire scene for me, I work away quite a lot, and for a long time when I first got in it, I was at Harley's quite a lot, and picking up a lot of these new bands, and that's what got me into it. And obviously you're still doing that, and so with that, what advice would you give any young inspiring photographers or anybody that wants to get into this kind of game, or would you suggest they would go into this school level, and try and maybe even emulate the Ayrshire music scene again?
Well, the Ayrshire music scene is huge, because we are very fortunate. We've got a lot of great bands in Ayrshire. From Kilmarnock. I mean, one of my pictures is Brown Bear. I mean, he comes from Largs. I mean, Matthew Hickman, I think he's absolutely amazing singer-songwriter. And my good friend Alan Frew from, Alan stays in Prestwick now. Alan used to stay in Troon for a while. And an amazing singer-songwriter. Then you get boys from Kilmarnock, Matt Scott. I think he's amazing. He's really, really superb. And his girlfriend, her band is really superb. Then you get the wee Jamie Angus from Ardrossan. Jamie's fearless. I mean, I've known Jamie since he's about in his early teens, or maybe even before his teens, and he was brilliant then. He's just full of energy and fearless about getting up on stage and singing, and he's brilliant. And his mother and father, they're in lots of bands. You know.
Yeah. What advice would you give to any inspiring photographers that's coming up to get in?
Get as best a gear as you can, because bad gear and anything doesn't work right. So a good quality camera, good quality lens, and nerve. Because it takes a bit of nerve to get up, stand in front of a big crowd of folk to take photographs.
Yeah, it does. Especially if you're on stage and if you're put near the drum riser. Because I know when I get all access and if I'm with the band for the whole day and I'm getting everywhere to go, it's quite nerve-wracking. And I can pick out some gigs I've went to that I've pretty nervous to go. I mean, even though it was the Prodigy, I got in early. I don't know how I managed it, but I was walking through and they were doing the sound check and nobody quizzed me, nobody checked me, and I was finding that quite strange. And then eventually got this lovely security manager and he was absolutely brilliant with me. And allowed me in the pit myself at one point. And I think you've got to have that confidence to go and speak to people and ask questions. And
Pit's alright. I prefer the back.
Yeah.
Because I mean I mean, you used to go to tea in the park. Your main lens was your 300mm. That was a full gun. You had to have that.
Is that from front of the house? You talk about front of the house, or is it
in the pit?
Yeah, or in the pit. Yeah.
For the main stage.
Yeah.
But in the other states, the 70 to 200 was the one. Or if you wanted a picture of the keyboard player or the drummer, because they're always way at the back and have the photograph.
I know. Yeah.
300.
Yeah. No, definitely.
But the most important thing is nerve.
Yeah. I'd just like to thank you for coming along and doing this video with me. The idea behind it is obviously I would like to do a music exhibition at some point. It may well be next year, it might not be, it might be the following year. How do you feel about being part of that?
I'd love to be, but it'd be quite a prestigious thing to have your pictures in.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you guys that I'm looking to capture. I want to get the guys that started way at the beginning, who inspired me from the early days, from the 60s and 70s and 80s. When it was really, for me, music was at its best. I mean, it's still good now, but I think for me, and you still hear a lot of that music getting played. And when I look at the photographs from those, I love those photographs from years gone. And I think they just tell more of a story. There's more of an impact on it, and I think photographers nowadays are learning from that.
I mean, there is a photograph. I think it was Paul McCartney's wife that took it. Linda McCartney. I'm not sure. It's a picture of Jimi Hendrix, but you don't see Hendrix. All you see Hendrix is a shadow when a big round the spotlight hit him on the wall.
Right.
I mean, you know it's Hendrix, but I love that photograph.
Yeah.
And I've copied that. I've done it many times. I mean, the last one I remember, I've done it once up in the place up in Glasgow. It was Justin Curry. He was kind of doing his MC bit for Kevin McDermott.
Right.
Up in a restaurant up in Glasgow. It's Celtic Connections, if I can remember rightly.
Right.
And that's on the now, the Celtic Connections. I used to go to that a lot.
Yeah.
Some absolutely outstanding venues. One of my favourite venue is the old fruit market. I love that place.
Yeah.
It's a lovely venue.
That's a good venue. And Barrowlands is another. I like Barrowlands. It's quite. I've done a few pictures in there. A lot of the newer ones don't really, for me, have feel. The Hydro, I photographed there a couple of times so far. It's massive.
Doesn't appeal to me.
But it just didn't have the same. The SEC Prodigy, it was in hole 4. Well, the SEC's a little bit older. It still didn't have an impact as the same as the likes of you talk at the fruit market, St Luke's.
St Luke's is a nice wee venue.
And all these places, Oranmore, Barrowlands, King Tut's, and it's just.
Don't like King Tut's.
King Tut's very small, and it's again lighting's a problem. I think it's a little bit better now. So.
I like Stereo.
Yeah.
That's a nice venue. I mean, the best. It's great sound.
Something there, and I don't know if you like A United, don't you?
Oh, you're delighted.
Right. And they're playing today, and we're doing this interview. Would you like to know the result?
You must be smiling, so it must be Ayr United win at least.
Basically, it's not.
Oh, well, Ayr United 6 then.
No. It's basically full time, and it's 1-0 Talbot. Auchinleck Talbot are very better United in the last 16 with Craig McCracken header. So,
My good friend Ian Wilson from Auchinleck, he's
so there, I'll just show you that.
a blur.
It's a blur.
A blur.
It says full time 1-0. Congratulations and all the very best to Auchinleck in the last 16. That's just literally just came in 6 minutes ago.
But you and I are Ayr United fans.
Yeah.
We had a wee bit question mark about whether Ayr going to win today.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm pleased for Talbot got been an Ayrshire side, but I'm an Ayr fan. But
best team in Scotland.
Yeah.
Talbot.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Auchinleck Talbot should be in the big leagues, the same as Ayr. And we touched on that. I know we're talking about sport, but that's what you used to photograph as well. So
that's another passion, football.
yeah, so that's one of the reasons
Rugby,
why I brought that in.
Ice hockey.
Yeah, ice hockey. Yeah.
I used to go to ice
Ayr
hockey.
Bruins. I actually seen some pictures that you took of Ayr Bruins, and I played ice hockey in the 70s when I went to Canada for 3 months, and I absolutely loved it. And I was meant to join that club. And
when I went to the Ayrshire Leader, I first started taking ice hockey pictures way back in the 70s. When I first started in business. No, when I was working in the Stammer, I used to go down to watch the Bruins in the early 70s. That's right.
yeah,
Then when I started in business, I've done for the Ayrshire Post, the Ayrshire Leader, and the Advertiser.
yeah.
In this day and age, it's not nice sitting in the pouring rain and the cold wind. That really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's the downside of it.
that's the downside.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember up at Firhill, the Partick Thistle, wasn't it? Parton.
Yeah.
But it was coming down in absolute buckets, and the photographers had to sit behind the goal, and we moved into under the old stand out of the rain, and the policeman gave us into bother, says get back to where you were. And he went in his wee hut.
Brilliant. I love that story. That's great. I know.
So that was alright for the police to get in their wee dry hut, but we have to sit out in the pouring
Got the
rain.
police. I know. Yeah. No, it's funny stories. Okay, so we're getting near the end, but obviously I've selected a few photographers to be part of this project.
Aye.
Is there any that you suggest to me that I should look at, that I should contact?
As I said to you, Schofield,
Michael Scofield?
Mike Schofield,
Yeah.
John Gunyon,
Mm-hmm.
or even Andy West.
Andy West, yeah.
In Lithgow.
I know these names.
Andy does a lot of gigs.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you very much
I've
for doing
enjoyed
that. And you enjoyed
Talking
it?
about my passion.
Yeah, photography. But thanks very much.
Music.
Okay, so we'll say cheerio and say cheerio to the camera.
Doodle pick old fruit.
And we'll catch you again. Thanks again, Alistair.